Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Saturday, August 11th, 2018 by Gaia Blooming. I'm Mimi, and our energy mantra for today is I bless and release the structures of the past and embrace the love of the now. And we are in our third and final eclipse. And this is the final eclipse of 2018. Yay, hallelujah. Now, a few things I want to mention before we dig into these energies of the eclipse. The first thing that I want to mention is that it's not just going to be wham bam, the eclipse has happened and we're done. You're still going to be feeling these energies. So, this is the other point I want to bring up. If you are feeling body pain, confusion, anything like that, it may not just end with this eclipse. But that's what I want to dig into a little bit, is body pains that are coming up. People are feeling a lot of pain. I'm hearing a lot of back pain, feeling a lot of head pain. I had, it was not a headache, a weird head pain that was going on till just a little bit before I recorded this horoscope, and I kind of meditated through it. This is upgrades. Upgrades are happening in and through this. The old structures are releasing and making way for the new structures. And this is happening on a cellular level, molecular level, spiritual level. So all kinds of energies are happening. Take it easy on your body through these energies. Do not worry. Get medical attention if you feel like you need it. But chances are, especially if it's a pain that's come on suddenly and has like no logical connection, chances are it has to do with that. And like I said, I'm hearing from so many people who are feeling the pain. You are definitely not alone through this. So this third and final eclipse of the season has very important energy in and through us. And it really is about embracing the energy of love. We have a whole bunch of Leo energies going on. We have actually at the time of this eclipse, we have Leo rising happening. We have the North Node in Leo. We have Mercury in Leo, Mercury retrograde in Leo, Pallas in Leo, and then the Sun and the Moon together in Leo. So, Sun and Moon together, new moon. Let's address that energy first. Sowing seeds of love. The new moon is a time when we plant intentions to be seeded, to be fruited into manifestations. And sometimes we're like, I want a relationship, I want a Ferrari, I want a home. All beautiful, wonderful, wish for what you wish for, but please make a conscious effort to plant some seeds of love. Sow some seeds of love. That song keeps playing in the back of my head, sowing the seeds of love. Sow those seeds of love, because we are entering a new paradigm. There's happening on many different levels. This is part of the yin realization coming in, which I have a reading for, by the way, which I'll dig in at the end. But the more you can carve out a space for love in your life, the more you can allow the love chemistry, the heart chemistry, to come in and work your life, work your purpose. Work everything, connect with everything, participate. Do I have the participation card? I do not have the participation card. That's what I just saw in my head. To participate, the better you're going to feel in and through these transits that are going to be going on over these next few years. The world is changing. And it's coming to a place where love will be at the helm. And you are on the leading edge, bringing love to the helm. So the more you can focus on that love energy, bless and release the structures of the past, embrace and integrate love energy into your life, the better. All right. So let's dig in a little bit into this eclipse energy. The eclipse happens at, 2:58? I can't believe I don't even have that memorized. Yes, 2:58 a.m. Pacific time. That's 5:58 Eastern time. It is a partial solar eclipse. I do not think we will be seeing it in the States. Just because it's partial doesn't mean that it holds any more or any less impact. And I do feel like this one has impact, more so because of the yod than anything else. So the yod is really the focus in and through this. The yod is Neptune. Neptune retrograde in Pisces. Neptune retrograde in Pisces, releasing old karmic contracts. But Neptune retrograde in Pisces also bringing awareness, because patriarchy is at the point. It's part of the focus and through this. It is making us realize where our spiritual lives are keeping us indoctrinated. Here's the thing. Many have a guru, a pastor, a rabbi, etc. A friend and I were talking today, a mentor even, an astrologer, a spiritual guide. And not to say that that's a bad thing, because it's not bad to have that support in your life by any means. It's a really beautiful thing. But it should never get in the way of your own connection to spirit. You do not need an intermediary in your connection to spirit because you are a child of the universe. You have that automatic connection. You have that umbilical cord to the universe. So do not forsake your umbilical cord for the wisdom of anybody else, for the wisdom of any other religion, and tune into your heart, the temple of you. Tune into your heart in order to help guide you in and through these energies. So I think that's a part of this that we haven't really touched on. The other thing, those karmic contracts, chances are they already have been falling away, and they may continue to fall away a little bit at this time. Bless and release. These are parts of the structure of your old life. They may come around when they can match your vibration, but for now, bless and release. The next connection is the Capricorn connection. Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. And Pluto retrograde in Capricorn is really going through and destroying the old structures. Pluto in Capricorn wants us to be empowered in and through our structure. If our structure is based on anybody else, and if our structure is not balanced with yin and yang energies, it is not a safe and sound structure. Now, the structures of the world that we live in right now have been based on the patriarchal energy. These structures of the world that we live in right now are very yang related. This is a little bit uncomfortable as the wild yin comes in. It is a bit apocalyptic. And I learned just this week a new connection to the word apocalypse. So in the word apocalypse is the word calypso. And calypso is another word for cauldron. And cauldron is a symbol of the womb energy. As we go through this, as we peel away the veils, another meaning of the word apocalypse, what we are finding is the space of nothingness, the space of the womb, the space of pure creation power. And we all have this space within us. But we all have to embrace the unknown. You know, this is an interesting thing because there's a lot of things I can say in my life that I'm like, I know this thing for a fact. But the thing is, even if I think I know something 100%, the most it could ever be is like 99.9%. Because this universe is so full of possibilities and so full of things that are still yet unknown to all of us. So part of these changing of these structures is embracing that yin, embracing the unknown, embracing the fact that we do not know. Now that can be very uncomfortable. I have lived that very strongly this year. And yet, it is so important, and it is such a growth builder. And beyond that, it's such a, I don't know what the exact right words would be, but it's such a space where you can really bring in and attune to miracles. So hold that space. Work with the space of your nothingness as part of the new structures that are coming into play. There's still going to be room for the young. And it's necessary. The balance is necessary for a strong foundation. But start cultivating that space within you, that space of the unknown, in order to release these old structures, to release the patriarchal energy. And that's where this yacht is really focused. It is really focused on palace. That's the thing we all have to be aware of, where we still carry these patriarchal energies within ourselves. Now, I've also come to realize that through these eclipses, a lot of old patriarchal structures are part of the structures that are falling apart and falling away. In fact, I realized that a lot of stuff that I went through this year was releasing the patriarchal energy in my falling apart in my life. So take a look and just notice where patriarchal energy may be in your life. It's funny. Good timing. It's like a sound effect brew out there. Where the patriarchal energy may have been in any of these things that have fallen away. And again, bless them for their part in your life and release them in and through this with love and create the space for more love to come through in and through this. Now, another thing that's happening in and through this is the Christ consciousness energy is rising. Christ consciousness is love consciousness. The true mission of Jesus, who worked very strongly and closely with Mary Magdalene in balance, was the mission of love. And so, as he is called and considered the Christ, this to me, Christ consciousness, is about embracing this heart energy. Christ consciousness is on the rise. Like I said, our bodies are making way for this. But what we need to realize is, well, let me take it back a step. I had words for everybody who got a reading. The words were resurrection and integration. We have to resurrect the golden heart light, the Christ consciousness of the sacred heart within us, and then integrate it into our lives. This isn't just meant to be Sunday morning inspiration. That's one of my friends will call those inspiration moments, where you're suddenly inspired, like, yes, I understand, and then we don't integrate it. This is meant to be integrated and brought through. I believe this is why Mercury is retrograde at this time, taking us deeper into the consciousness of these love energies, and why we have this whole Leo conglomerate. This is part of the finishing up of the North Node in Leo at this time, reminding us of love consciousness, and it does start within ourselves. So as you sow seeds of love, make sure you are sowing seeds of love for yourself, and then integrating it, taking that action in and through it in your life from this eclipse point on. Another beautiful thing from this energy and from this energy today is the sun is in conjunct Pluto. More of this yod energy going on, like we keep talking about. In conjuncts are part of the yod, and where we're not seeing eye to eye. And I think this is where we may come up within ourselves, where we have that old structure that feels safe, and where we have this bursting of heart energy that's coming to the surface and being like, yes, here I am for you. Do you trust me? Can you move into this energy? So be willing to listen to that. A few other things I want to mention before I dig into the cards. Mars is preparing to go retrograde into Capricorn. Now that's also going to be interesting in releasing patriarchal energies, because Capricorn really is like the grandfather, the father, the patriarch energy of the chart. So we may feel more of this unwinding as Mars goes in there and as Venus continues her way through the sign of Libra. So just be aware. Again, this eclipse isn't just going to be like wham bam, here it's happened. Hallelujah. There's more. The Sabian symbol. I don't even know what I did with the book. The Sabian symbol talks about the chemistry. And that's one of the things that I think we need to keep in mind as we integrate. We are a conglomerate. We are a council of body, mind, spirit, soul, heart. Make sure your heart gets an equal say. For many of us, the mind is the head honcho, the patriarchal boss of all, and what the mind says go. But we have to realize the spirit has a place, the body has a place, the soul has a place, the mind has a place, the heart has a place. Make way for that. Make conscious efforts to move into that. It's going to take effort because it is unwinding and releasing these old structures. So commit to that self, or commit to that self, to your heart self, in and through this, in order to tune more into that energy. And that is how you are on the leading edge, bringing this change, bringing this heart into the world. And this is needed because this is the energy that will take us through some massive changes, loop-de-loops, that are coming up in the next couple of years, astro-wise. I have been watching very closely. I have been storing all the data away in my head like a little squirrel. The love energy is what will carry us through. The willingness to embrace the yin, the unknown, and trust in our own creation power with that is another big part of it. So grasp onto those things, integrate those into your life. Let that be your intention with this, and release these old structures. The cards. Well, I think this one says enough. The cock on the head. This time of burden, where the mind is the head honcho, it's over. We are ready to get beyond the illusion and be here now. Final thing though, as part of your love consciousness, is not to judge anybody else on their path of love consciousness or any kind of consciousness, and let them be in charge of their own ride. You work on your love consciousness. Do not worry about others' love consciousness at the time. Be here now. Be present with yourself so you can get beyond your illusions. Before I show my final card, I want to tell you about my offering. I just came up with this today, and it was like, oh my gosh, I have to do this. I'm going to be doing yin readings for masculine or feminine, but the yin reading is going to be about the moon and Venus and your feminine energy, major asteroids, and then looking at Pallas, looking where you still may have some of these old patriarchal hooks that hopefully can be released, undone, and where you can empower the yin in and through yourself. So that's going to be $66. I don't know how long each reading is going to be. I think it's going to vary depending on what's going on in the chart, but you can email me to set that up because I think that's going to be really powerful. And I used to do the asteroid readings, and I think I charge more for them. So I think this is a really good deal. But 6 is the number of Venus, and so I was like 66. There we go. And 12 altogether, 6 plus 6 is 12. That's 3, and 3 energy is that energy of expansion, expanding the yin, one reading at a time. For final, finishing up, the mother prays. It's 15. That is a 6, by the way. Interesting. You are being watched over. Many beings are aware of your existence. They know that your heart and your soul are pure, even when you may doubt it at times, because after all, you are a divine being masquerading as a decidedly fascinating mixture of light and darkness. Sometimes you may not feel so pure, and that's okay. The mother prays for you, not because you're about to do something ridiculous and you might come to harm, but that you might not do something ridiculous and avoid living your full potential. She wraps you in waves of love, light, and consciousness that you may feel brave enough to live your life and not hold back from pursuing what is within your heart, or really letting it pursue you and giving in to its seduction. The mother prays, so fear not and just live your life. This oracle brings you guidance. Ask for help from the Divine Mother who loves you unconditionally. Ask each day. She wants to help you, and you have to ask for that help to empower her to do so. You have her great blessing. You have the blessing of the yin. Go forth, embrace your heart. Go forth, embrace the yin. Go forth. Oh gosh. Oh, computers. Oh, Mercury retrograde. I'm still here. Okay. There's enough love in the world for you. The better it gets, the better it gets. I'll see you tomorrow. Namaste.